Hey everyone, Duke here, and we're back with a full updated guide to acquiring your Timelost Fatebringer in Season of the Haunted. This is one of the best hand cannons in the game, and if you need a team to run with, I'll be helping everyone this evening on my stream at twitch.tv/DukeIsCool. I may also run some more on Wednesday and Thursday evening alongside our GM helps if there's enough interest, so come on by. The week of August 9th will be the last chance to get your Timelost Fatebringer, so if you're busy this week or see this video later in the season, I'll make sure to plan some times to run it then as well. New for this season, you're able to farm this weapon an unlimited number of times during the week of Vault of Glass being the featured raid, and you will also get a high stat armor piece, as well as a high chance for things like Ascendant Prisms and Shards, as well as any Adept mods you may be missing. This is an outstanding farm for any and all of this sought after loot. This season we have a number of changes to think about when talking about our setup as well. First of all, 100 Resilience is going to be extremely beneficial, not only here but in all endgame content. 100 Resilience now gives 40% damage reduction, and in Master Templar specifically, really no other stats are going to matter, so make sure to amp up your Resilience. I would however recommend that the Relic Runner have at least 60 Intellect as well, as the timing of getting my supercharged as the Oracles went down was just about perfect with that 60 Intellect, and ended up being a bit delayed at lower Intellect levels. The one other thing you'll want to run is Armor of the Dying Star on your chest piece. This will give you damage resistance against the Templar, which is Void, as well as the Harpies, which shoot Solar, and should be run by all members of the team, including the Relic Runner. As for weapon and class setup, you'll want to have one Well of Radiance Warlock for both the 25% damage buff, as well as healing from the damage you'll be taking. I'd recommend they also run Lunafaction Boots for faster reloads for the entire team. Also, you'll want one person on Divinity for both easy crits and the 30% increased damage you'll get from its debuff. Depending on your team's levels, you can also think about bringing a Titan with Helm of Saint 14, just for the ability to dip in and out of the bubble for instant overshields, as the Well doesn't give overshields anymore, but this is optional. Do note that the Well and the bubble give the same 25% damage buff, so again, the bubble isn't going to add any damage, it's just for potential defensive abilities and survivability. All other damage team members should run a damage super, with Nova Bomb, Thunder Crash, and Blade Barrage being some of the best options. Basically, you just want instant supers, and if you're using Nova Bomb, I'd recommend the Vortex super so that you don't block anyone's shots with the bomb itself. The runner can run what they are comfortable with, but my personal recommendation would be to be on a Solar subclass with Classy Restoration for what amounts to basically invincibility when using your class ability. And as an additional option, in case you're just struggling to survive or maybe a little bit of a lower level, you can still absolutely run Protective Light, as even though it only gives a 10% damage reduction now, it's going to be very easy to get your Chargeless Light stacks if you just run Taking Charge, as there's going to be a Well and other supers that are popped right on top of you, and 10% extra damage reduction is not nothing. If you are going to go this route, you can also run things like Radiant Light and Powerful Friends just to make everybody getting Charged with Light that much easier. As for weapons, I'd recommend most players, other than the Divinity user, run a Sniper, an Arc Weapon, with fusions working especially well here, and a Linear Fusion Rifle. We've also found success with a player running Witherhorde to spawn kill some of the Fanatics, as well as a bit of added passive damage to Templar. Don't bother running any primary type weapons, as Double Special is definitely the play for this encounter, especially with the Flag Strat we will talk about in a moment. The Snipers will be for taking down the Oracles, while the Arc Weapon is to break any Harpy shields, and of course the Linear Fusion is for DPS. In terms of Linear Fusion Rifles, Storm Chaser is outstanding if you have it, but really any legendary Linear Fusion Rifle with a damage perk is going to work great, and Sleeper Simulant is a great option as well for those who may not have other options. One of the biggest keys to making this challenge easier is at the start with the Permaflag. First, plant a flag and have everyone wipe so that you all have full ammo and supers. Then, you'll want to drop the flag about half a second before the relic holder picks up the relic to start the encounter. It may take a try or two to get this timing to go, but once you get it, it's really easy to consistently do. To use the double flag, when you see the Templar prepare for the Ritual of Negation and kind of lift up in the air, this is when you want to run to grab the flag and immediately run back and reuse all your supers. This will allow for one person's Well to last the entire time, while also giving everyone full ammo back, and doing it in this way allows it to be safe to run up to the Templar, as it's not shooting during this time. This is an extremely important part of the strategy, and I would highly recommend that all teams use this double flag strategy. I've heard a lot of times people come in to either stream or in comments where they're saying that, their LFG team wouldn't use the strategy. I promise you, you need to convince them to do this. It is so worthwhile. It gives you literally double damage, double ammo, and without it, it's going to be extremely, extremely, extremely difficult. The one thing you do want to look out for is the Fanatics that may be near the flag as you're grabbing it, as you absolutely don't want to get marked for negation during this transition. Taking the time to kill one if you see it on this transition is absolutely worth it, as the deaths will be one of the biggest areas for issues. The non-relic holders during the Oracle phase should also be on the lookout for Fanatics, as killing this first wave on both sides will keep things much cleaner, and the runner can also easily quickly drop the relic to kill any Fanatics that they see while they're going from block to block to help with the later spawn waves. Definitely make sure to not drop the relic before you bring the Templar shield down though, because you're going to need to build this super up, and by dropping the relic, you lose all super. The relic runner can also feel free to get in a few shots of heavy whenever possible, as that damage can and will add up, especially if the team as a whole has a few lower leveled guardians. Just be sure to of course always prioritize getting the block first, but with Classy Restoration, survival is not nearly as challenging as it could be in previous seasons. Another tip is that when the Overload Minotaurs push the well, have the Divinity user quickly tap them for a brief second to stun, and then go back to focusing on DPS on Templar. If they get really up in your face, quickly melting them may be worthwhile, but in most cases you should just be able to step around them and still be in the well, or otherwise get an angle to continue on DPS. This is actually additionally where Sleeper can be a great option, just because it over-penetrates shots to hit both the Overloads and the Templar at the same time. And my final tip is about the Detainment Bubbles. If anyone other than your runner gets detained, you will all be piled up on top of each other and be able to easily break out whoever got detained. However, if your runner is the one that gets detained, especially near the front left teleport block, I'd recommend one person being assigned to be the one that is going to move to get them out. You don't want your whole team to do it, because then you'll just be losing too much DPS and, everybody's running around and nobody's actually shooting the Templar, but you also need someone to actually do it and do it quickly so that they get to their next teleport block in time as the runner. This is another place where having that sniper will come into play to easily and quickly get them out of their detainment bubble, and then you can go back to doing DPS with your heavy LFR, while the runner goes and gets the next block. So a super quick TLDR breakdown of the entire encounter. First, rally and wipe, then do the Permaflag as the encounter starts, while having the relic holder rotate around into position, and the remaining 5 guardians take out the 3 oracles and take out any visible Fanatics. Then have the relic holder take down the shield once all oracles have been defeated. From here, make sure to pop all your supers and start DPS for about 15 to 20 seconds or so, while the relic holder starts to rotate around, and make sure to block all the teleports. Then re-rally the flag once you see the Ritual of Negation, and make sure of course the relic holder does not go for the re-rally. They're going to continue to do all the blocks while this is going on. Then once you've re-rallied, go back into position, repop all of your supers, including the well and all other damage supers, and continue to commit to damage until the Templar has been defeated. I hope this video helps you acquire your God Roll Timelost Fatebringer. Don't forget that I'll be running this for those that need a team on my stream as well, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.